In our work with couples, sometimes we hear people say, I love you, but I'm no longer in love with you. And this just goes to say, I have fallen out of love with you. But does falling out of love with your spouse mean that the relationship is truly over? Oh no. So you want to watch this to the end. Thank you for joining us. I am Chidi Akunna.
And I am Victor Akunna.
You're welcome. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, Foundation for Family Affairs, please hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you're notified when we drop our content. At Foundation for Family Affairs, we talk everything romance, intimacy, and family. And our mission is simply to connect hearts and raise healthy families. So if you're in that place where you feel you're disconnected from your spouse, you want to watch this to the end. And we've come with a message of hope to let you know it is possible to bounce back. Yes, you can find love again. It's not over. No, don't give up. Okay, so before we go on, I think we need to talk about signs. Okay, signs that you've fallen out of love with your spouse, because sometimes people don't realize they've actually fallen out. So if you can see some of these signs in your relationship, then you might need to work on a few things. Okay, and what are some of the signs? You're no longer excited about spending time with your spouse. Oh yes, there used to be a time you were excited, not anymore.
Always looking forward to it.
Yes. Okay. Or you just not you're more comfortable when you're apart. Yes, your spouse is not around, and then you're okay. Now I have my freedom. I feel like me now. I can feel myself. Okay. Or you no longer prioritize your spouse. Do you want to say so?
Yeah. So I think another one is, you guys don't have sex anymore. It doesn't mean that every relationship that has sex is a function of love. But if you are in love with someone, one of the things, for example, if you've not had sex for like a year, I mean, that's an indicator.
Oh, yes.
That something is not working.
Yes. And we've seen this.
Yeah.
We working with some couples, we've seen this.
Because what I was even going to add to that was, sometimes when you begin to build intimacy with someone, when you begin to build intimacy with your spouse, sex is a natural occurrence that will follow suit. All right. So if you've not had sex for over 1 year and you guys are married, that's an indicator that something is not quite right.
And I was reading Dr. Gottman, and he was talking about some examples for some people, and some of what he put forward, some of the four points he put forward, I found really fascinating. Criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling. There's one other one. I think contempt. Contempt. Okay, so he put forward some of this. So excessive criticism, it's really not constructive. Defensive, you were talking about this in our video. If you haven't seen intimate communication, you need to go see it. Okay, where some spouses are really defensive. It's like you're waiting for your spouse to talk. Before he or she's done, you're putting forward your arguments. You shut down communication. Okay, then stonewalling and contempt.
Sometimes people do this because there have been an issue of continuous painful hurt from both sides. So people begin to protect their hearts. And sometimes people do this, you know what, since you've been hurting me, I'm going to find a way to hurt. That's why we say to couples, it's very important that you be selective about who you take advice from when your marriage is expressing a turbulence. Because sometimes people will give some kind of advice with the intention to protect you. But the advice can only address issues temporarily. On the long haul, they're going to ruin things. They're going to cause pain for both parties and the children if they are involved. So it's always much better to speak to someone who is not emotionally involved in the issue, and then to seek the help of a professional. Always much better, honestly. Because we've had people who say, you know what, if he's doing this, you do this. If she's doing that, you do that. It's not helping anyone. Like Mahatma Gandhi will say, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. At the end of the day, both of you will be blind, figuratively speaking, in that relationship.
Two things I also wanted to put out there. If you find your spouse's presence really irritating, okay, that's a sign that you have fallen out of love. Okay, it's not over. I'll keep saying it. It's not over. You can work back. You can work on these things. Or if you find their behavior really annoying. Everything they do just annoys you. You may want to check, why am I really annoyed? Why? You used to find some things they do really humorous. I like that word. Okay, but all of a sudden you feel very irritable about it. So you should be checking these things. And like you were saying, you know, from being angry about things, resentment starts to build. Yes. And that's why you do not want to get to in your relationship. So let's provide some solutions. What solutions do we have? The first point we have for you, no reasonable order. It's just something you may need to consider as per your situation. One may be to empathize. Okay, it might just be that something that you find really irritable is, you know, one of those things. It could be maybe a new development. Your spouse has suddenly become so busy and seems not to have time, you know, to do the little things he or she used to do. Maybe pick up some things around the house. Or you feel like, no, rather than even assist, he's adding more to the things I have to sort out. Okay. And you're now really upset about it. When you allow it for some time, you now become resentful towards that spouse. How about you empathize? What's he going through? Okay, what phase of life is your spouse in? What are the things your spouse is facing at the moment? Because that will give you perspective. You know, with that, you're able to look at how I can, you know, assist. You'll be more patient because you have understanding of the situation. You can look at how you can even assist your spouse.
I found out that it's much easier to empathize with someone when you become curious. Well, like, is there something I'm missing? Is there something I'm not seeing? Is this really this bad? You know, is there sometimes, you know, you're curious about, are they going through something that I'm not seeing? Are they shielding me out from an information because they feel like I cannot handle it? You know, so sometimes, because there have been situations where everything is pointing to a specific direction. And you've come to the conclusion that this guy or this lady is this way and that way. And then you get more insight into the situation. And you don't believe, you jumped into conclusion too quickly. And you were quite mean in your conclusion, in your analysis. So from experience, I've learned to don't just conclude. Sometimes be curious. Maybe she was in a bad mood. Maybe just give people the benefit of the doubt. And so it's always recommended for you to be curious and try to probe, trying to find out more. Sometimes people are going through situations that they don't even know. Some people may be reacting to traumatic experiences that they are not even aware of. And so they don't know that that's what is triggering their reaction, and then you are reacting to their own reaction, and then it's creating this, you know, vicious circle of regular conflict. So be curious to find out, research some of the traits they're displaying. Go and Google it, find out what exactly do you think might be the telltale signs. You know, Google them and be able to find out. And then when you know better, most times people are able to do better.
Yes, that's the expectation. So another point we have for you today is, we're putting it out as a question to you. What are you grateful for in your spouse? You need to seek out what you're grateful for in your spouse. You know, we recommend this to people, but sometimes I think being together, sometimes people get so busy, you know, with the in and out of all they have to do. They get so used to being together that they don't realize that those little things still matter. You know, just thinking about what you love in your spouse. Why do I love you? You know, and even making a note of those things. Okay, how about you take it further and send it to him or her as a text? You know, it's really heartwarming when you read such things from your spouse, or when your spouse looks you in the eye and say those things to you. Okay, that can rejuvenate your relationship. That can make you feel warm again towards each other.
Sometimes people may feel like their relationship has gone so far away that doing that may not really work. Let me tell you something. It might not work the first time, but it will definitely work. You know, it's like you see a hard rock and the constant dripping of just one dripping of water is touching it regularly. It looks like, oh, it's going to take forever. But I'm telling you, that water keeps dripping. Just a drip of water, it will make an impact on that stone. All right, so it doesn't matter how far gone you guys are in the, you know, towards divorce spectrum, or how the level of apathy in your relationship, where people are just just stonewalling or just don't care or behave like they don't care. If you keep doing the right thing, all right, things will definitely work out. Of course, at the beginning, because of the things, the antecedents, your spouse may be suspicious of what you're doing. They want to try out to know if you are actually genuine, if you're actually, or you probably are just trying to catch them in, or you're trying to set a trap for them. When they come to know that your intentions are pure, I believe that if you're rational, they will definitely respond.
Yes, hopefully. All right. So another point we have for you is you need to spend time together to talk. You need to talk. We cannot overemphasize this point. You know, as you talk with each other, you're touching base. You're aware of what the other is going through. You're aware of everything going on in that person's life. It's strange when we hear people say they don't talk. Spouses say they don't talk. You should be spending time to talk. Research has proven that 15 minutes every day is enough to even do a lot of good to your relationship. 15 minutes every day. How do you go on for days? There are people who say because we're not in talking terms, we've not talked. How do you do that? Okay, so close the gap. You need to be talking.
There is this pyramid of communication that, you know, I can't remember the name of the man. Do you remember?
Oh, yes.
That talked about it. So usually communication, when you're trying to rebuild your relationship, communication will start from the basic thing where you just say hello, hi, you know, at least you're talking. And then from there, you can now begin to take it up the pyramid, which is, you now begin to talk about more vulnerable things like, how was your day? What happened? Don't
start sharing your
views, your opinion, your feelings. Exactly. Don't rush through the process. Allow it to take its natural course. Don't say, after we've been married for 10 years, we should just jump to the final one of, you know, sharing feelings and sharing intimate.
Heart-to-heart communication.
It won't happen.
Yes.
Allow it to go through. So sometimes you may just have to, as if you're starting again, as if you're getting to know each other. You have to gradually build it. You might be ready to move to the intimate communication, but they may not be ready. Because they are still processing and decluttering, because different personalities have different ways of processing hurts. Some people are ready to go. Some people take time and they need to. So depending on the kind of personality your spouse has, it will determine how fast they're ready for the next phase to engage you at a certain level.
That's true.
Give them time.
Okay, so the next point we have for you is you need to dream and plan together. I think we saw this quote and they said, friends dream and plan together. Friends. Okay, and that's the value of friendship in your marriage. You know, sometimes we talk about friendship and we think it's just for pre-marriage. It should be marriage works better on friendship. Okay, and we need to encourage that, but don't stop dreaming. Don't stop planning. Some people feel, oh, we've been talking about our dreams before we even became a couple. You know, so she knows my dreams, he knows my dreams, you know, but dreams evolve. Okay, because we're not stagnant as people. You will be surprised that as you talk with your spouse will tell you, oh, I would like to do this, I would like to do the other, because we keep changing. Absolutely. And so you must accommodate that, but by all means spend time to dream and plan. As you're doing that, there's something in front of you, it's keeping you together, you have something bringing you together to talk about. And that's the whole point. You know, over time you start, you know, you feel good when someone is vested in your interest. So when I share my dreams with you and you show some kind of interest, I feel good about it. And that's what you want to be doing.
Yes. It's the reason why you feel good about it, because it releases some what do you call it now? Some hormones. You know, it's like feel good hormones. Because it's a way of connecting. Yes. That's why you see people who share dreams, who share values, who share things they want to do together. And it's something that is an emotional cord that is so tough that binds them together. You know, so do that and practice that in your relationship. You know, people evolve. The dreams I had 5 years ago are not the dreams I have now. I have new dreams. So if my wife is not keeping up, she won't know what I'm trusting God for, what I'm believing, what I'm reaching out for right now as I'm speaking to you. So, but she knows, because we're constantly talking about it. I'm constantly giving example. When I make progress in it, I'm constantly sharing. When she makes progress in us, I'm constantly sharing. There's something I've been asking her to do now, right? You know, go and do X, Y, Z, because she said, you know, that opportunity is coming. I said, babe, do this. And she's pursuing it. So I know her dream right now. It's because we're taking time to communicate about this. And it keeps us fresh. It keeps our relationship fresh. You know, it keeps our energy fresh. It keeps our perspective. So if I see something that will benefit her dream, I'm able to recognize it faster, and I'm able to do that, and I'm able to even tick more boxes. You see, so this communication is not just something that the couples do. It's a tool that you can use to pull your hearts closer to each other, to get into your spouse's world and say, you know what, let me unpack this. What is happening here? You know, is she performing at the best of her capacity? How can I bring my knowledge, my expertise to be able to help her? You know, how can she bring her knowledge and expertise? There are things that she's also pushing me to. You know what, baby, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to prioritize this. We need to finish this by this deadline. We need to have a target for this. This is how couples grow. Nothing is systematic. Nothing is magical. You know, it's just doing the basic things, and the big things will take care of themselves. That's just how it works.
That's right. And could it be that your spouse has fallen out of love with you because they feel you're not concerned about their dreams? That's something to check. Is it possible your spouse has fallen out of love with you because they feel you're not concerned about their dreams? The feel is you're just bothered about your own dreams. And here they are supporting your dreams, but you don't care to even know what dreams they have. Okay, so that's really important. We'll share the last point with you, which is a big one. You must forgive. And when we say forgive, you must let go of the hurt and forgive this person. Bitterness may have built because of some things. Probably you had certain things you complained about in the past, and your spouse just won't stop it. We're not excusing that.
No.
But forgiveness is
Absolutely
a gift
not.
you give to yourself. You're gifting yourself that. Okay? You must forgive. Let go of the hurt. It's not doing you any good. Okay? It affects you even biologically. You don't want that. You don't want the side effect of all that hurt. Okay? When you let go, you might be able to love again. It's difficult to move past that if you don't let go of that.
Absolutely.
So you must do that. Okay? You're looking at your spouse. He's a fine man, but I'm not happy about all these things. How about when you let go, you even be in a better position to discuss your grievance with this person. And that's what we're imploring you to do today.
I like what you said, that it's a gift you give yourself. So when I forgive you, I'm not just gifting you, but it's a gift I give to myself. And that's powerful. Because sometimes we're looking at the person, does she deserve it? No. Do you deserve the peace of mind?
Oh, yes.
Do you deserve the mental health? Do you deserve do you want the toxicity that it will live in your emotions? No. All right. So you deserve that peace of mind. You deserve that mental health. And that's what you are gifting it to yourself, really.
Good mental health.
Good mental health. You know, you are gifting it to yourself. So your spouse is partaking of it, but you are also benefiting from it. All right. Rather than holding that and letting it just, you know, it's like someone would say, like, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. No, you are the one who is drinking the poison. It's your body that is being damaged here. Sometimes some people don't even know they've done something, and they're just living their best lives. Whereas each time you see their picture, you're stalking them on Facebook, stalking them on Instagram. Everything they do is annoying you, and they're just making progress, and you're just bitter, and you're resentful, and that resentment is spreading around the people that spend more time with you. They're wondering what's your problem, and you're angry that they are not recognizing what the problem is, and they're asking what the problem, because it's so petty now, you can't talk about it, and you're going in that cyclical one. Set yourself free. You have that power.
And sometimes your spouse may have even apologized. Okay, but because you're still holding on to that hurt, it's not letting you move on in that relationship. If you really want to remain in that relationship, then you must be letting go. Let go of that. Absolutely. It's a decision you must make. Otherwise, you'll be capping how far you go in the relationship. Absolutely. Okay, we shared some points. You may have some points you think we've not touched on. Leave them in the comment section if you care. We'll be happy to read from you. If you have liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And hey, if you're yet to subscribe,
what are you waiting
hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it.
It helps us to do more videos, you know.
It
pushes the algorithm. It helps us to reach out to more people, make more impact. Thank you for those of you that are doing that. All right.
Thank you. And thanks to all our returning subscribers. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
All right. It's goodbye from us.
Bye.